right now in the Western Conference. Scottie Pippen has been magnificent with 19 points. But John Thompson, Derek Anderson has authored 2 scintillating drives inside into the teeth of that San Antonio defense and come up with big baskets each time.
Well, that's the key. He has penetrated both of them. One time he split, and that time he went right to Davis' chest, took the space away so that he could make the basket.
Blazers have hit their last 4 shots. And the Spurs with Jackson, Robinson, Parker, Duncan, and Smith. Blazers with Wells, Davis, Anderson, Pippen, along with Rasheed Wallace.
San Antonio has to find a way to score. You don't need a 3. You'd love to get a 3, but you got to go quick. Taking way too long to get this basket.
Tim Duncan against Davis. 7 seconds left. 3-point game. Out of bounds. Now 7.5 seconds to play.
Boy, and that's why that inbound is so important right there. You got to get that ball in, but you can't be reckless in doing it.
They took way too much time off the clock right there. There's still 9 seconds. I should have only taken 3/10 of a second off.
Timeout. Led by 12. Spurs have had a 2-point lead. A couple ties along the way. Tony Parker was great to begin things early in the 4th quarter. For San Antonio, Scottie Pippen's got a game-high 19. Danny, take us inside the Portland huddle.
Well, Portland's got to get the ball into their best free throw shooter's hands. Derek Anderson's just made a couple. He's their best free throw shooter. They got to get it to him. You want to avoid the guys that have had trouble making free throws. Scottie Pippen struggled from the line tonight, but you got to run a play to get the ball to Derek Anderson.
John, what about the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, the thing that they have to be careful of is that they want to be very aggressive right now because they have very little time left in this game. I agree with Danny, they took too much time on the offensive end to get that basket. They needed to get that basket a lot quicker, but the only thing that they can do is to try to steal it. They've got to go for this ball if they can get it.
It looked like that ball went through the net with about 9-point-something seconds, and they continued to run the clock.
Go for the steal.
Anderson held by Parker.
Good execution by Maurice Cheeks, or by the Blazers. Good call by Maurice Cheeks. Get the ball to your best free throw shooter. Ice the game.
Well, the Portland Trail Blazers have scored 10 more points at the free throw line than San Antonio. And they have taken 26 attempts to San Antonio's 11 free throw attempts tonight.
And I think they've earned those, you know. I think, you know, San Antonio, the losing team always says, hey, we got beat at the free throw line. They got to the free throw line more. It's typical on the road and so forth. But I think that Portland has earned them by going to the basket. But there have been a couple of questionable out-of-bounds calls here late in the game.
In the 4th quarter, John, Portland 10 of 10 from the free throw line.
Well, that's what you need in order to win a ball game. You've got to be able to seal it by making those shots. I thought also the Trailblazers looked so much quicker early in the ball game, but that being said, the Spurs still played well.
That's it. The San Antonio Spurs watch their 3-game winning streak come to a close. The Portland Trail Blazers have now won 11 of their last 13 games. Since mid-December, they have played as well as any single team in the NBA. Blazers win it by 3. Inside the NBA is next from Atlanta. Portland now has won both meetings with San Antonio this year. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Scottie Pippen over here with Bonzi Wells, also waiting for Derek Anderson. Scottie, obviously you guys played very well as a team, but there's a time in early December you had a losing record. Since then, 11-2. What clicked with this team? What happened?
I think we just started to build a little bit of rhythm to our chemistry. You know, we had a rookie coach last year, and it was tough for us to kind of feel what Maurice wanted out of us. And I think this season we got a better feel of what he wants, and it's given us a year to play together, a few of us. So we've started to pick up and generate some intensity early on, likewise what we did last year.
Talking about your teammates with good chemistry, so many times in the past couple of years it seemed that the team just folded, exploded within. Off-season, off-court problems for the team again this year. Why has it come together? Why is it different this time around?
Well, it's just been tough. You know, we've always brought in new guys So the start of the season's always been very difficult for us. But, you know, I think this start has been a little bit different for us. It's brought a little bit more focus, I think, with some of the off-court things that happened to us. It's caused us to focus a little bit more. And, you know, to some degree, it's probably good it happened. At least we're having fun on the court again.
Before we bring in Derek, maybe better introduce the cutest one of the group.
Little Scotty, tell him hello.
Hi, Scotty. Derek, how good is it to beat your old teammates and what you guys trying to do out there?
I mean, it's not about individuals anymore, man. This game's got to be played as a team, and we finally came together. We matured and played together, and guys just believe in one another. And doesn't mean anything about beating them, just winning games, man. That's the most important.
I know loyalty means a lot to you. Obviously, the teammates mean a lot to Rasheed Wallace. He's going through a period we talked about earlier in the game, a close friend passing away. What do you guys do now for him?
Well, we got to be behind him. This is just a game. You know, God's going to judge us on how many people we take care of and help. And it's not about how many games you win, how much money. It's how many people you help. So, you know, we've become his best friend right now. So he's got to lean to us, and we got to be there for his shoulder.
How you have the feeling right now that this Portland team can win it all?
We've always felt that way, but, you know, we have to grow up in certain instances. We can't go out and expect to be one of the better teams if we're not mentally tough. And I've always taught, you know, being mentally tough wins championships. And until we finally grew up, we finally feel like we can really win a championship.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Kevin.
All right, Craig, Pippen, and Anderson with 19 each. Tim Duncan finishes 5 for 15. Steven Jackson at 18. And Tony Parker at 17 for the San Antonio Spurs, who dropped to 22 and 14. Portland at 21 and 13 on the year. Our producer tonight, Mike Burks. Our director, Lonnie Dale. Special thanks to Dennis Stone. Now for John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long from Portland, Oregon. Ernie Johnson, we had a good one here in the second part of our doubleheader. Blazers win it by 3 as we send it to you in Atlanta.
Tonight, TNT takes you inside the NBA. He's smushed. And we'll run the give and go between New Jersey and Sacramento as the Blazers hold off the Spurs 90-87. They have won 11 of their last 13. San Antonio made a game of this thing late, however, Jim.
He's making fun of you, as you
Why? What did I do?
Well, obviously this game was better than the first one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying going into the night. Going into the night, you would think, hey, game 1, that's getting all the attention. Game 2 turned out to be better. Whatever.
You know, Portland played really well, and they're playing really well right now. But as bad as Tim Duncan struggled tonight, it seemed like they should have had a much easier time with the game. I think that's one of the problems with Portland. They're a little inconsistent. But Scotty played great tonight. Derek Anderson played well tonight. But I still, you know, I just don't know if they can keep it together throughout the season.
And I think one of the things you be concerned about is the fact that the point guard situation. Damon Stoudemire came in and did a pretty good job when he came in tonight, but had not been playing. You know, Antonio Daniels, Jeff McGinnis, you have all these 3 guys who are natural point guards, but the starter is Derek Anderson, who's probably might be their best shooting guard. So now you move him to the point guard position, and the size of the team is...
He's making
no,
fun of you.
No, he's making a point. He's making a point. I got to say something after he's finished. No, because I think Bobby Wells is more of a 3 than he is a 2. So you look at those 2 guys, and Maurice Cheeks just said, you know what, I'm just going to play my best 5 guys, and I'll see what happens, because I can put Scotty to bring the ball up, but I think that's going to be the thing in the Achilles heel that bites them down the stretch in the playoffs.
You know, I just think it's funny when Damon Stoudemire said he wanted to be traded.
Why is that funny?
No, he said he would love to be traded to the Knicks. I hate to break it to him. They tried to trade him. It's like somebody gotta want you. They tried to trade you. You can be sure of that.
Hey, I'd love to know what you guys think of the exchange that happened late in the fourth quarter of this game involving Tim Duncan and Dick Bavetta after an out-of-bounds call went against San Antonio, and they had this little exchange. Listen up.
Money on that one. It's off.
I don't bet anything. I'll go for a hamburger.
I'll bet you a hamburger.
You got it. You got it. Okay. We'll look.
It's like a wimpy thing.
Well, Dick,
betting a hamburger.
Dick is a wimpy thing, I might add.
No, come on.
No, he's actually one of the better officials. He will discuss.
He was wrong on that play.
Yeah, but he's one of the good guys.
He owes him a hamburger.
Yeah. You know, but he's
he was dead wrong. That's one of the things, though, Chuck, to cut you off, but when you were playing, too, the officials will guarantee you that they were 100% right, knowing full well they didn't.